The story of Montgomery, Alabama, is one of transformation. From its humble beginnings to its rise as a pivotal city in the American South, Montgomery's journey is a testament to resilience and ambition. It's a tale woven into the fabric of the American South, a region rich in history, culture, and complexity. The southern landscapes, with their rolling hills and vast fields, set the stage for a city that would grow to play a significant role in the nation's history. Founded in 1819, Montgomery emerged from a confluence of rivers and ambition. The city's founders envisioned a thriving hub of commerce and culture, and their vision began to take shape as settlers arrived. The Alabama River, a vital waterway, promised trade and prosperity. Steamboats plied its waters, carrying goods and people and connecting Montgomery to the wider world. The river was the lifeblood of the city, facilitating trade and communication. Settlers, drawn by the fertile land and the allure of opportunity, flocked to this new frontier. They came with dreams of prosperity, ready to cultivate the land and build new lives. The promise of fertile soil and a fresh start was irresistible. The city's location was strategic. Situated at the intersection of major trade routes, Montgomery was perfectly positioned to become a center of commerce and industry. Its accessibility by river and road made it a natural gathering place for traders and settlers alike. It was at the heart of what would become known as the Black Belt. This region, with its rich dark soil, was ideal for agriculture, particularly the cultivation of cotton, which would become the cornerstone of the southern economy. This region, named for its rich dark soil, was ideal for growing cotton. The fertile land yielded abundant crops, and cotton quickly became the dominant agricultural product. The success of cotton farming would shape the economic and social landscape of Montgomery for decades to come. Cotton, the king of crops, fueled the southern economy and shaped Montgomery's destiny. Plantations spread across the region, and the labor-intensive process of cotton cultivation became a central part of life in Montgomery. As cotton production boomed, so did Montgomery. Warehouses lined the river banks, filled with bales of cotton ready for shipment. The city's economy thrived on the back of this lucrative crop, and the riverbanks buzzed with activity. Merchants traded goods from across the nation and beyond. The bustling marketplaces of Montgomery were filled with a diverse array of products, reflecting the city's growing importance as a commercial hub. Trade brought wealth and diversity to the city. The city pulsed with energy. The streets of Montgomery were alive with the sounds of commerce and the hustle and bustle of daily life. It was a place where opportunity and ambition converged, creating a dynamic and vibrant community. It became a magnet for entrepreneurs, farmers, and those seeking a new life. People from all walks of life were drawn to Montgomery, eager to take advantage of the opportunities it offered. The city's growth was fueled by the dreams and hard work of its residents. Montgomery in its early decades embodied the promise and the complexities of the American South. It was a city of contrasts where prosperity and hardship, hope and struggle coexisted. The story of Montgomery is a microcosm of the broader Southern experience, reflecting both the triumphs and the challenges of the region's history. The antebellum period witnessed Montgomery's ascent to prominence. The city became a major cotton trading center. Wealth flowed through its streets, building grand mansions and fueling a thriving cultural scene. Montgomery's prosperity, however, was inextricably linked to the institution of slavery. Plantations surrounding the city relied on enslaved labor to cultivate and harvest cotton. The wealth generated by this system created deep social and economic divides. Montgomery's story, like that of the South, was one of contrasts. Opulence and opportunity existed alongside oppression and injustice. The issue of slavery cast a long shadow over the nation. As tensions between the North and South escalated, Montgomery found itself at the epicenter of the coming storm. In 1861, the city would make a fateful decision. It would become the first capital of the newly formed Confederate States of America. The decision to secede from the Union and form the Confederacy was a monumental and controversial one. It was a decision that would forever alter the course of American history and plunge the nation into a brutal and bloody conflict. The Southern states, feeling their way of life and economic interests were under threat, chose to break away and form their own nation. This decision plunged Montgomery into the cauldron of war. The city, which had been a thriving center of commerce and culture, suddenly found itself at the heart of the Confederacy's war efforts. The streets that once bustled with everyday life were now filled with the sounds of marching soldiers and the clamor of war preparations. The city became a symbol of Southern defiance. Confederate flags flew proudly over Montgomery, representing the South's determination to fight for its beliefs and way of life. The Alabama state capitol, adorned with Confederate symbols, stood as a testament to the city's new role in the conflict. The first Confederate flag flew over the Alabama state capitol, marking Montgomery as the birthplace of the Confederacy. This flag, known as the Stars and Bars, became a powerful symbol of the Southern cause and was a rallying point for those who supported secession. Jefferson Davis, elected as the President of the Confederacy, took his oath of office on the steps of the Capitol building. This moment was a significant event in the history of Montgomery and the Confederacy, as it solidified the city's status as the heart of the new Southern nation. Montgomery, once a bustling center of commerce, transformed into a hub of military activity. The city's streets were filled with Confederate soldiers, and military encampments sprang up in various locations. The transformation was swift and dramatic, as the city adapted to its new role in the war. Confederate troops marched through its streets, their presence a constant reminder of the ongoing conflict. The sight of soldiers in uniform became a common one, as Montgomery played a crucial role in the Confederacy's military strategy. Hospitals overflowed with wounded soldiers. The city's medical facilities were stretched to their limits as they struggled to care for the influx of injured troops. Makeshift hospitals were set up to accommodate the growing number of casualties, and the people of Montgomery did their best to support the war effort. The city, along with the rest of the South, experienced the hardships and sacrifices of war firsthand. Food shortages, economic instability, and the constant threat of battle took a toll on the residents of Montgomery. The war tested the resilience and determination of the city's people. The Civil War tested the very soul of the nation. It was a conflict that pitted brother against brother and tore families apart. The emotional toll of the war was immense, and the scars it left behind would take generations to heal. It also left an indelible mark on Montgomery. The city, which had once been a symbol of Confederate power, was forever changed by the war. The physical and emotional scars of the conflict were evident in the city's landscape and in the hearts of its people. The city, once a symbol of Confederate power, witnessed the war's devastating consequences. Buildings were destroyed, and the once thriving economy was in ruins. The people of Montgomery faced the daunting task of rebuilding their lives and their city in the aftermath of the conflict. As Union forces approached in 1865, Confederate troops were ordered to burn the city's cotton supply to prevent it from falling into enemy hands. This act of desperation was a stark reminder of the lengths to which the Confederacy would go to protect its resources and prolong the war. The resulting fire destroyed much of downtown Montgomery. The flames consumed buildings and businesses, leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. The city's landscape was forever altered by the fire, and the people of Montgomery faced the challenge of rebuilding from the ashes. The war's end brought with it the hope of reunification, but also the daunting task of rebuilding a shattered city and a divided nation. The people of Montgomery, like those in other southern cities, faced the long and difficult process of reconstruction. They worked tirelessly to rebuild their homes, their businesses, and their lives, determined to create a better future for themselves and their descendants. The aftermath of the Civil War ushered in a period of reconstruction in Montgomery and throughout the South. This era, spanning from 1865 to 1877, was marked by significant efforts to rebuild the war-torn region and integrate millions of freed African Americans into the social, political, and economic fabric of the nation. The abolition of slavery brought about profound social and economic changes. Formerly enslaved individuals now faced the daunting task of building new lives in a society that had long denied them basic human rights. The end of slavery also meant that the Southern economy, which had heavily relied on forced labor, had to undergo a dramatic transformation. The city, once reliant on enslaved labor, struggled to adapt to a new era. Plantations lay abandoned, and the agricultural economy was in disarray. Industrialization began to take root, but the transition was neither smooth nor swift. Many white Southerners resisted the changes, clinging to old ways and harboring deep-seated prejudices. Freed African Americans, now citizens with rights guaranteed by the Constitution, faced immense challenges. They had to navigate a society that was often hostile to their newfound freedom. Despite the legal protections afforded by the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments, African Americans encountered significant obstacles in exercising their rights. They sought economic opportunity, access to education, and the right to participate fully in civic life. Establishing schools was a priority, as education was seen as a crucial pathway to empowerment and progress. African Americans also pursued various trades and professions, contributing to the economic revitalization of Montgomery. Montgomery, like many southern cities, grappled with the legacy of slavery and the complexities of racial equality. The social fabric of the city was being rewoven, with African Americans and white citizens learning to coexist in a new reality. This period was marked by both cooperation and conflict as the community worked through its deep-seated divisions. Despite the challenges, Reconstruction also sowed the seeds of progress. African Americans began to build their own institutions, creating a sense of community and solidarity. Churches, in particular, became central to African American life, serving not only as places of worship but also as hubs for social and political activity. African Americans established churches, businesses, and schools. These institutions provided essential services and support, fostering a sense of pride and independence. The establishment of schools was especially significant, as education was viewed as a key to future success and a means to challenge the status quo. They played an increasingly active role in politics, electing representatives to local, state, and even national offices. This political engagement was a testament to their determination to shape their own destinies and influence the direction of their communities. African American politicians worked tirelessly to advocate for the rights and needs of their constituents. Montgomery, slowly and often painfully, began its journey toward a more just and equitable future. The legacy of Reconstruction is complex, marked by both progress and setbacks. However, the seeds of change planted during this period laid the groundwork for future generations to continue the struggle for equality and justice. Today, Montgomery stands as a testament to the resilience and determination of those who fought for a better future.